Hi, I'm Lynn. Welcome back to Cooking with Lynn. I'm in my kitchen today again baking for the Cumberland Library. And it is cookie season. Is there a cookie season? It's Christmas season, so lots of cookie exchanges, cookies being given as gifts and eaten for, fun, and also for dessert for Christmas and other holidays. So today I am making cookies. I'm making candy cane cookies. Red and white, shaped like candy canes, and they're really pretty easy to make, and they're delicious. They're sugar cookies basically. Typically most recipes will tell you to put peppermint extract in them. I do not like peppermint that much, and I like the taste of the sugar cookie, so I don't put the peppermint extract, but you certainly can, and you want to put maybe like a half a teaspoon if you are going to do that. So I'm going to get started. I'll tell you what you need and we'll get going. We're going to start off with good old butter. You need 2 sticks softened. You need powdered sugar, a cup of powdered sugar. Got mine here. Vanilla extract and red food color. You need 1 large egg, flour, salt. That's about it. You probably have a lot of these ingredients in the house, so you could make these anytime you want. Grab the red food color early at Christmas time because people are decorating with red and making red velvet cakes and whatnot. Sometimes I have a hard time finding red food coloring if I wait too long. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to put my butter in my mixer. You do need a mixer. Doesn't need to be a stand mixer, but you will need a mixer. So make sure it's softened, not melted, but softened. I'm just going to stick that over there. Get that in there. I like sugar cookies, and I don't think they need a whole lot of extra stuff to make them good. I think they're delicious all by themselves. They're buttery and sugary, and what else do you need? And I'm going to put a cup of powdered sugar in here, and then I'm going to mix that up real good. I'm probably going to pause a couple times, so the dough will need to be refrigerated. Most cookie doughs should be refrigerated before you get them in the oven, mostly because most of them have butter in them, and a lot of times if you put them right in the oven, they just spread out. If you've ever made chocolate chip cookies and you cook them right, you bake them right away, a lot of times they just spread out and get flat. The butter needs to harden up again, and that way they keep their shape. So I'm getting that in there. I've already got stuff on me, but that's okay. So this needs to go until it's kind of creamy, and start it off slow so the powdered sugar doesn't go everywhere, which it kind of already did. And let that go just for probably a minute or so. Now this is a sugar cookie recipe. It's not my sugar cookie recipe. You can use any sugar cookie recipe to do this, I would imagine. Maybe even a mix, I suppose. But homemade is good. It's already coming out kind of creamy. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it's already just kind of looks like butter. Now I'm going to put in an egg. Get that mixed in. Forgot to put my trash can over here, so I'm just putting all my trash over there. And let that get going. And then put our vanilla in. This is where you would put actually after we get the flour in, I think is where you would put the peppermint extract. I don't hate peppermint, but I just love the taste of sugar cookies, so I didn't want to ruin it with the taste of peppermint. If that makes any sense. I'm going to scrape this down because it's not incorporating all that great, because I have an older mixer and it doesn't always get what's on the bottom. The newer mixers are better. They have the paddle has like a little spatula kind of thingy to technical term. Okay, now I'm going to add my vanilla. Teaspoon. Pretty typical of cookie mixes. Chocolate chip cookies. I love making chocolate chip cookies. Is a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, now we're going to put our flour in. And the food color. I love the smell of vanilla. And now I'm going to put 3 cups of flour. It's kind of fun to do these cookies with family or kids because, you know, they look fun when they're done. They're candy cane shaped. And then everyone will want to eat them. So I'm going to actually get this incorporated on low so they don't go, the flour doesn't go flying everywhere. Every time I bake, I end up covered in flour or sugar. That's already coming together. So that was like 1.5. So I'm going to put this, the rest of this, and then one more. It's starting to be dough rather than a batter. Scrape it down. That is cookie batter. Struggle is real. Come on. There we go. Just gonna scrape it because there's always flour at the bottom. So let's see, it's a dough now, but there's stuff at the bottom. Like I said, these older mixers don't get that stuff on the bottom. I'm just going to give it one more zhuzh and resist eating the dough, particularly while on camera. Okay. One more, run around. See if it gets that last little bit of flour on the bottom. And not a huge deal if it doesn't get every single little, you just don't want, you know, flour kind of showing. Okay, so I am going to flour this a bit. Do it right on the counter, or if you have a board like this, or a marble board. Okay. Get that out of there. Half the dough is on the paddle. Actually feels a little softer than it should, but I'm going to knead it a little bit. And you don't want to handle it too much for 2 reasons. You don't want to activate the gluten too much, and you don't want to, because then they'll be kind of tough. They'll still taste good, but they'll be tough. And you also don't want the butter to like melt because your hands are warm, and you will melt the butter, which initially is not terrible because you're going to put it back in the fridge for a little while, but it's best to, why? Never mind. This doesn't want to cooperate. Get the rest of it out of here. You like working with dough, and you like making cookies. Now this is a sugar cookie dough that you could use to roll out and make, use the cookie cutters and cut them out. And if you're good at cookie decorating, you probably already know all that. We're gonna just knead it a little bit. just to get it all together, and then we're going to split it and we're going to color half red because half of a candy cane is red. So let's eyeball it, divide it. Let's see, about half. A knife would have been better. It looks good. So I'm going to actually mix it a little bit in here. It's probably not a big enough bowl. That's vanilla. That's not what I want. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of red food color. That's a half. And I really don't want to need it on my board, but I might have to, because I really don't want my board to get all red. Usually when I'm making anything red, like red velvet cake, I'm usually covered in red, and it does come off, so it's not a huge deal, and you can wear gloves if you don't want to get yourself all messy. What takes it off, believe it or not, toothpaste. Fun fact. I could have mixed this with the paddle, and maybe I should. Yeah, let's do that. Hot mess right here. Okay, let's do it. Let's see. It needs. I'm gonna wash my hands. Needs more, and that's a good way to tell if you're using enough red, because you don't want pink, right? Candy canes are not pink. Getting there. I'm not really sure why it's taking so much red food color. That's what's in there probably. Show you. I know the color is sometimes bad on YouTube here. Why am I struggling? Doesn't want to come off. All right, be that way. I'm gonna go with this. Maybe put that over here, and it's a little pink, but we'll go with it. Shouldn't color my board too much, but I'll wash my board later and pray it comes off. Okay. Messy, messy, messy. Good thing I washed my hands. Because we want equal parts white and red. I know this probably doesn't look very red on, YouTube that you're watching, but it is pretty red. Dark pink, whatever. And I want to get it consistent, so I'm going to knead it a little bit more. Put some flour. There we go. Roll up your sleeves. It's going to be messy. Now it's starting to act like a dough. Okay. All right, I think that's probably good. Nice. See it. I'm looking at my laptop and it doesn't look red, but hopefully it will to you. So we've got our white and our red. Put that back in there. This is going to go in the fridge for at least a half an hour. Hour's better, 2 hours is even better. But I'm going to pause, obviously, and clean this mess up and get that in the fridge, and we'll come back and make some cookies. Hello again. I'm back. Part 2. So forming the cookies and baking them. So this, which doesn't look very red, I don't know how it looks, how it's going to look on YouTube, but it's red and white. There's a cat. Yeah, so we're going to, it's been in there for about 45 minutes. Normally I would leave it longer, and you can leave it up to, like, you can leave it up in there for days. 3 days, not like a week, but okay, so I got that. I took them out of the bowls and wrapped them so that the cold could get all around. And I think I said before why you want it to get cold again, because you don't want the cookies to just spread out and be like flat, because the butter needs to be cold. Okay, so I'm going to put a little flour and a little bit on my hands. Roll the sleeves up. So I don't want to put too much flour, I don't want to add too much flour to it. So I'm just going to pinch off about a walnut size piece. So that. So this should make 24 cookies, but I mean that's a sliding scale depending on how big you make them. So that's kind of walnut-ish. And then you want to take an equal amount from the other color. It's not an exact science. And roll it around a bit. Okay, so I'm going to, they're not the same. Try to make them about the same as best you can. Like I said, it's fun. It's cookies. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's probably about good. So I've got a little measuring tape here. You want them to be about 6 inches. I'm going to make a little snake out of them. I'll show you a few and then I'll finish up and bake them. So that is actually, you can like make some markings on your board, that way you can kind of just eyeball it. It's probably, squish it back if it gets too long. I'm going to roll this one out. For some reason this dough is colder than this one. I don't know why, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so you can use that one as a template. Okay, so they're the same. And you want the whole snake, it's not very appetizing, to be consistent. And then you're just going to twist them. Twist, twist, twist. Okay. I haven't done this in a while. All right, that's it. And then kind of sort of pinch the edges together, and then you can finagle them a little bit. Okay. And this one's got a lot of flour on it, but that's all right. And I've got 2 cookie sheets here. I've got the oven at 375, and I'm gonna make a couple more, and then we'll get them in the oven. So make them any size you want, but obviously if you make them bigger, you're gonna want to leave them in the oven longer. I believe they go in for like 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. I had to cheat there. Don't want too much flour because that one got a lot of flour on it, and now it's not as red, but it'll be okay. Tweak it a little. I've got 2 cookie sheets because they take up a lot of room. They're not going to spread. They shouldn't spread, but they do take up a lot of room on the cookie sheet. Pay attention to what you're doing, because that's too skinny. You can always start over. You don't want to manhandle them too much though, because the butter will get too warm. And you can have your kids do this. They'll love this. This is fun. 6 inches. Right, think that's good. I'll get a little walnut size of this one, and roll that out. You know, you can put on some Christmas music or an audio book or your favorite program, and just roll out the cookies and relax. That one came out better because it's not full of flour like the other one is. There, and that one's going on there. And I don't know if you can see that, but I've got parchment on a cookie sheet. I've got 2 cookie sheets here. If you don't have parchment, you can probably spray it a little bit. Yeah, or use a seal pad if you have that. That works nicely. Just make sure you kind of, I mean, if you want to measure them, you really want to be accurate. If you have a scale, you can weigh them. Make sure that they're all even and all the cookies are going to come out the same, but I don't have time for that. I don't have patience for that. But, you know, you do you. That's what you want to do. If you're a perfectionist, you're giving them as a gift, you might want them to look a little fancier or a little more professional. But if it's just for your house and you're just having fun with your kids, you don't have to worry about it. If they're a little off, if your kids do it with you, chances are they're going to be a little off. But that's why it's fun. That one might be a little big. Okay, I'm going to do just this one, and then I'm going to finish it up off camera, and I'll show you what they look like when they're all baked. Getting there. Okay. Just twist and twist and twist. And kind of pinch the ends together a little so they stay together, and then fold it down and get that on the cookie sheet. Alright, so I'm going to finish that up and I will be back. Okay, it's cookie time. The cookies are out, and I don't know how good the coloring is that you'll be able to see, but they came out kind of cute. They did spread a little, because I didn't leave them in the refrigerator as long as I should have. And even better, if you can, after you roll them and shape them, get them back in the fridge for a little while so that the butter can solidify. But they didn't spread too bad. They do look like candy canes. They're kind of cute, and they're kind of hot. But they took about 14 minutes actually. I think I may have used a little bit more dough for each one than is called for, because they took a little longer, and they're a little bit bigger, but I don't mind eating a big cookie. So I got 16, so yeah, I did. And I had more red dough left over because obviously I didn't separate them accurately, but if you want to be precise and you want to make sure you get all the cookies you can weigh them, and you know, that's the most accurate way to do it. I would love to take a bite of these, but they are very, very hot. You want to leave them in there until, like, you can see a little tiny bit of golden brown on the tips, you know, on the white part, and just a little golden brown on the bottom. So I am going to eat one of these later, but I am not going to dive in while it's burning hot. Burn my mouth one too many times. But that's it. My other batch is in the oven. It was 375. The whole instructions will be posted with this video. So I hope you give it a try. Try it with your kids. Add the peppermint if you do like peppermint, but keep it just a little because you don't want them to taste like toothpaste, certainly. Yeah, so that is that. Come back next month when I'm making something. It'll be posted. Anyway, I hope you're still enjoying the videos. Come by and see us at the library, and happy holidays.